lower risk of emboli and atrial fibrillation, provides continuing relief of priors equivalent to those obtained with open surgical valvotomy, but without associated morbidity and cost. Selection of the patient may, who are the candidate? Symptomatic severe MS NYHA class 2, 4, also in class 2, 3 and 4, and also in class 2. Asymptomatic severe mitral stenosis with complications like pulmonary arterial hypertension, episodic pulmonary edema, atrial fibrillation. And this may be they may be the candidate. MS with refractory pulmonary edema or cardiogenic shock, pulmonary hypertension in pregnancy, thromboembolism, either systemic or pulmonary embolism. These are the selection criteria of the patient, and also criteria for mitral valve suitable for PTMC. Who are those? The leaflets should be plied and mobile. There should be minimal calcification, particularly along the commissures. When the commissures are free, then it will be good for tearing the commissure. The stenosis should be valvular, no extension thickening or subvalvular apparatus. Actually, there is some scoring, Wilson scoring, which may guideline the suitability of the patient. That is, when the score is 8, below 8, then the patients are suitable for PTMC. 8 and 12 is moderate, suitable, and above 12 contraindicated. You can see this chart, you can find it in the book. Now, patient selection, again, contraindication, absolute significant MR more than grade 3 or 4. Sometimes maybe 2 plus also considered as a not suitable patient, and left atrial thrombus. These are absolute. Relative high score more than 8, that is rigid, immobile, calcified leaflets. Severe MS with associated disease that require open surgery, that is ASD, VSD, coronary artery, this one, coronary artery disease and other valvular disease. Contraindication to septal puncture in PTMC, like LA thrombus, history of thromboembolism within 3 months, hugely dilated aortic root, septum more than 4 millimeter. Then preparation of the patient. Diagnosis and severity assessment of mitral stenosis patient is done by transthoracic echocardiogram. The patient has got to undergo transesophageal echocardiogram to ensure that there is no clot in the LA when it is being suspected. But I think the resolution of the modern echo is enough to clear it by the transthoracic echocardiogram. If the patient is on a warfarin, it has to be stopped 4 days before the procedure, and the patient may require to admit it the day before the procedure to receive intravenous heparin. Next technique. There are several basic techniques of mitral balloon valvoplasty. The most important and common one is transvenous antegrade technique, which is done by the Inouye balloon technique, most widely used, faster, less conversion, require less fluoroscopy time, slightly higher incidence of mitral regurgitation. And double valve balloon technique is less commonly used. Previously, before the advent of the Inouye balloon, it was the procedure by double balloon technique, but it is not suitable and not used now. Retrograde transatrial technique does not require septal puncture, but there is a risk of arterial injury, technical difficulties, and time consuming, a lot of time very. So necessary instruments of the balloon mitral valvoplasty. So number 1 is instrument for vascular access. Kundan catheter. Here Kundan catheter is actually required for right heart catheter before doing the mitral valvoplasty. This is usual, but in our practice, we were usually not done with directly doing the mitral valvoplasty. Better to do Kunden catheter, the right heart catheter. Pigtail catheter is another. I'm coming why it is used. Long exchange guide wire, Mullen's dilator, broken barrow needle, spring guide wire, white groin dilator is not required actually previously, because long septal dilator is enough. When it passes through the groin, it will dilate the groin itself. Inouye balloon catheter with a stretcher, Shepherd, and slide calipers. So this is the figures of instrument, picture of instrument, and on the left hand side it is written that what purpose they are used. Inouye balloon for dilatation of mitral balloon, balloon stretching tube for elongation of the balloon. If we don't elongate or stretching the balloon, then we cannot pass it. We cannot properly prepare it. And dilator is dilatation of insertion area, both in groin and in the puncture area. Guide wire guiding the balloon, catheter and dilator. Stylet spring wire that is directing balloon to mitral valve, coaxial septal defect, and syringe for inflation of the balloon. Ruler is necessary for the measurement before measuring prepare the balloon. During preparation of the balloon, we required measurement of the fix the size and size of the balloon, and the required amount was dye is required in the syringe, so that pre-dilatation preparation is necessary for this. And part of the Inouye balloon catheter, there are three parts actually. Inouye balloon. Actually, we are using the Chinese balloon, which are almost similar to the Inouye balloon. The Inouye balloon is better and best because it can it is used. It can be used comfortably and can be done several times. Can be used, reused. But the one thing is the clearing of or washing of the balloon is very much difficulties. It takes time. So now the Inouye balloon is a single balloon and three segments. As the balloon is inflated, the distal, then the proximal, and finally the mid segment dilates. And it has three lumens: side short vent for balloon inflation, and side long vent for air out. That is, before preparation we have to clear the air, and this should be done by the side long vent. And the short vent is connected with the syringe filled with dye, diluted dye. Central vent for stretcher, guide wire, Shepherd. So there are three lumens, and the size of the balloon, Inouye balloon comes in four sizes: 24, 26, 28, and 30. The size indicates the fully inflated balloon diameter. Maybe varied 3 to 4 millimeter up to. That can be inflated. That is, if the balloon size is 24, you can inflate 2 or 3 millimeter more by introducing more dye into the syringe. Next one is the procedure. Dr. Kanji Inouye first performed BMV in 1982 using an ingeniously designed catheter. A number of alternatives, that is, I have already said that a number of procedures is there, but they are not suitable. They are somewhat cumbersome. So this is the good procedure that is done by the commercially modified Inouye balloon, that is in Toray Medical Company, supplies in Tokyo, quickly became the most popular and choice of BMV because of relative ease to ease, lesser potential of procedural complication. So this is the good thing. Now arterial access. Arterial access, why usually we are doing it through venous channel, and we require also arterial puncture. in the groin. And why arterial channel is necessary? Because arterial channel to see the hemodynamic status for continuous arterial pressure monitoring, for transmittal pressure monitoring, and to pass pictal catheter that serves as a guide for intra-arterial septal puncture. And also we can use the channel for flushing or medication like this. Then this is the picture of a stenosed mitral valve. Here is the stenosed part, and this is the fused stiff and fused leaflets. দেখা যাচ্ছে? Can you see it? Clear?
জি স্যার, দেখা যাচ্ছে স্যার।
Here the catheter attached with balloon, and the balloon inside the mitral valve adjust just like this. And next one is during the recovery after the procedure. Actually, what we can do, a tight bulky dressing on the puncture site is applied. Patient should lay flat for about 6 hours after the procedure. Here it is 6 hours, but for the better not to avoid the hematoma, we are using actually 12 to 24 hours not to move the legs. It is better, I think. Patient is asked not to bend leg during this time to prevent bleeding. Measures should be taken immediately if patient develops fever, chest pain, swelling or pain in the groin or leg, or bleeding at the groin site. Here, fever actually first 24 hours the fever is not important. When there is a fever due to infection in endocarditis, it usually comes after 15 days, and that was very dangerous. Pagel may or may not be possible. And chest pain, usually when patient complains, then echocardiography can be done that there is any pericardial effusion or not. Swelling or pain in the groin is very alarming, and it should be taken promptly so that any hematoma blocks the artery, or any embolism blocks the artery, so that the dressing can be released, or the pulse, what is the condition of pulse should be seen at that time. If the pulse is not found and the leg is becoming cooler comparing to other side, then the bandage should be used. And if after 10-15 minutes, if the pain doesn't go, then heparin should be start 1000 unit. And after 15-20 minutes, if still there is no pulse, then we should go for IV heparin and no SPA. But IV heparin should continue for 24 hours. In the meantime, if the patient cannot improve, then we should consider the vascular surgeon and ask them what to do. If there is demarcation is coming, then the patient is sent to the OT for Fogg artery. That is, Fogg artery is an instrument that is done under GA, is introduced so the affected vein or artery and withdrawn. It is just a net-like structure. During withdrawn, it withdraw the blood clot, they release the artery freely. So, and next one is an echocardiography is done after the procedure, and patient may return to most of their normal activities the day after the procedure. So, advice to the patient on discharge: he should contact with the doctor if there is fever comes more than 100 degrees Fahrenheit, if there is chest pain, shortness of breath, unusual swelling or weight gain, bleeding, swelling, pain, or change in the skin color of the groin site, return of the previous symptom. So still, when you discharge in 24 to 48 hours, there should be some risk. So we should alert the patient about these points. And assessment of successful PTMC. by seeing the pressure testing. Transmittal pressure gradient will decrease, almost comes to 0 or 6 millimeter. There may be difference. Precordial examination shows disappearance of mitral diastolic murmur and no pansystolic murmur. So successful when on side when there is disappearance of the mitral sound and also not reappearance of the pansystolic murmur because due to the mitral regurgitation. Pre-procedural procedural echocardiography should be done by assessing this. Features of successful PTMC. Valve area more than 50% increase of original diameter of the valve area. Valve area attained more than 1.5 centimeters square without any significant complication. That is, MR should not be more than grade 2. Transmittal gas gradient should be less than 6 millimeter mercury. These are the features of successful PTMC. Now comes to complication. If we still hand, the failure rate of BMV should be less than 5%. Failure usually results from inability to puncture the interatrial septum. Sometimes the negotiation of the valve is also problematic. The procedure mortality rate varies from 0 to 3% in most series. Severe MR is common, ranging from 2 to 9%, and it usually results from non-commissural leaflet tearing and chorda rupture is another important cause of MR. And it should be considered that MR should be occur in that patient. Those valvular selection is not good. Selection is between the 8 to 12 scope. And subvalvular structure should be also considered because if there is highly greatly involved, then during procedure there is tearing of the chordal rupture. So selection, when selection is good, then the successful result is high. Now during the procedure, there is two types of the complication may arise. Like one is local complication and another is cardiac complications. After the procedure, re-stenosis occurs. Early re-stenosis within 1 to 2 years indicates inadequate dilatation. Late re-stenosis after several years. And immediate local complications are bleeding, hematoma, thromboembolism, arteriovenous fistula, and infection in the local area. And immediate cardiac complications are cardiac perforation of the right atrium, posterior wall of LA appendix, pulmonary, and pulmonary vein and left ventricle. Puncture of the aortic root may occur. Cardiac tamponade may develop. Mitral regurgitation is another cardiac complication, thromboembolism. Iatrogenic ASD, but it is not problematic, I think so. Infective endocarditis after 2 weeks is very important. If properly, that is we are using the instruments. So always be careful about the disinfection of the instruments. Usually we are doing it by solution, chemical solution like, what's the name?
Yes. So
Sidex is we are doing the chemical Sidex, but it should be considered when sterilizing this instrument that whether Sidex is in date or in good quantity so that the all instrument merge within it. And time factor, the minimum 20 to 30 minutes should be emerged into this Sidex. This factor should be considered strictly. Otherwise, you will be in false position and patient may develop infective endocarditis. Arrhythmia and cardiac arrest is another complication during the procedure. And three major potential complications are pericardial tamponade, usually related to transeptal puncture, mitral regurgitation due to damage to valve or chordae, And even if pericardial component suddenly develops, the BMB procedure can still be successfully completed once a pericardial damage has been promptly inserted by or auto transfusion may be started. And by this time you can complete the procedure. And since the balloon is robust and no wire enters the left ventricle, balloon rupture and LV wall perforation is not occur. One thing before the arrhythmia, how the arrhythmia can occur. If you retain the balloon within the mitral valve for a few seconds or few minutes, then it will create asystole, PF, and many other problems you can see. Sometimes the preparation of the dye is not proper, that is more concentrated. Then when you will withdraw the dye by withdrawing the syringe, it will be difficult, and the long time the balloon will not deflate, and that creates sometimes problem. So be careful about the preparation of the balloon, preparation of the dye. If there is, as we are using the balloon repeatedly, if there is in the air in the channel, then the balloon may burst and the air embolism may disaster the procedure. Patient may die. So this point should be always keep in mind. Systemic emboli can be largely avoided by screening the LA thrombus on TE shortly before BMB and by administrating heparin after septostomy. It is also a question asked sometimes in the Viva table to the students when heparin is given. Somebody says after puncturing, like CAG, but this is completely wrong. It should be always remember that we are giving heparin after puncturing the septum, and we confirm that the septum is punctured and we are in LA. Because if we are not in LA, when you dilate the wrong area of puncturing site, and if you give heparin, then you cannot save the patient. They start bleeding in a pericardial space, and the disaster starts, and then the patient can die. So it is very important when we should give the heparin. Transesophageal echocardiography is helpful during the procedure to exclude the atrial thrombus, also to inspect the subvalvular structures. Now it is before the procedure. To exclude the atrial thrombus, also to inspect the subvalvular structures, which will be difficult to visual well from TE, to confirm the leaflet and atrial septal appearance, whether it is thick or thin, and the position of the atrium, that is more curvature or straight. It will helpful in during puncture of the septum, and to assess the degree of mitral regurgitation, which is very important. If all the points you considered and if all the points are okay, then you can go for safely complete the procedure. Formula for balloon size. How will you determine the balloon size? It is in the height in the centimeter of a patient divided by 10 plus 10. So if a patient is 60 centimeter, then divided by 6 into 10, that is 60. The plus 10, 16 space. We can determine. And this is not important slide. Now sequential dilatation of the inflation. How we inflate the balloon. First, the tip of the balloon is inflated 1 to 2 ml of a diluted contrast media, which is now floated across the mitral valve, stressed which is stressed in a stylet. Then second, the distal part is further. The first proximal part, when you inflate, then you pull the balloon to engage the mitral valve. Then more inflation causes second distal part, and then when second distal part is inflated, then further inflation causes the tight stenosis part of the mitral valve, and with the disappearance of the central waist at full inflation. This is the system of inflation of the mitral balloon valve. See the A picture, it is a stretched mitral valve. B, after withdrawing the stretch, this is the picture of mitral valve, and the first inflation causes C portion, that is the proximal portion of the valve. Then further inflation causes distal of the balloon, inflation of the distal of the balloon, and then further inflation, the waist disappearance. When the fully inflated valve balloon done, then the balloon is automatically come out from the LA, from LV to LA. This is another picture, seen a picture. That first A picture is showing that the balloon is distal to mitral valve, and the proximal part is inflated, and then push it to engage the mitral valve. And after engaging the mitral valve, the further inflation causes distal inflation of the distal part. And the last one is D picture, which is showing the further inflation causing disappearing of the wedging, that is the stenoid part of the mitral valve. Now, the first inflation is performed 4 mm below the maximal balloon size. Balloon size is increased in steps of 1 mm each. Is not important. The balloon is then deflated and withdrawn into the left atrium, and the pressure gradient across the mitral valve is measured after each balloon dilatation, and echocardiography may be used to assess the mitral valve area. And the degree of mitral regurgitation should be assessed. If mitral regurgitation has not increased by more than 1/4 of the valve is less than 1 cm square by the surface area, the balloon is re-advanced across the valve, and PTMC is repeated when the balloon diameter increase up to 1 mm. It is actually during procedure, after completing the procedure, when the inflation was done completely, and the balloon comes to the left ventricular to LA, the patient himself is, when you ask the patient whether you are comfortable or not, the patient will reply that yes, I am so comfortable, the pressure in the chest has gone. And when you are scalded, then the MDM will be completely disappeared. If there is MDM is persists, then you should think that it is not completed. And the third one is when it is, you can assess by pressure gradient. When the pressure gradient is not significantly increased, then you can do the procedure again. This is the system. Now, the balloon valvotomy catheters are positioned across the valve parallel to the longitudinal axis of the left ventricle. The balloon valvotomy catheter are then inflated by hand until the indentation procedure of the stenotic valve is no longer seen. Generally one, but occasionally 2 or 3 inflation are performed. After complete deflation, the balloons are removed sequentially. Step by step, there is a procedure. A desired endpoint of the procedure. Mitral valve area is more than 1 cm square of the body surface area. Complete opening of at least one commissure. Appearance of increment of regurgitation greater than 1/4. This is the picture. First picture showing commissural fuse. Second picture shows one commissure open and another was partially open. And the third picture shows the fully open, both commissures. Now, results, immediate result. The improvement in valve function results in an immediate decrease in the leaflet pressure, gradient pressure, and a slight increase in cardiac index. A gradual decrease in pulmonary arterial pressure and pulmonary vascular resistance is seen. High pulmonary vascular resistance continue to decrease in the absence of stenosis. Gradually it becomes down. Improvement in pump function of the left atrium and the LLA and decreasement in the left atrial stiffness also. Definition of good immediate results. There are two definitions they frequently employed are number one, a final valve area larger than 1.5 centimeter square and an increase of at least 25% of the valve area. And a final valve area larger than 1.5 centimeter without mitral regurgitation greater than 2/4. So this is the definition of a good immediate results. Then if PTMC is initially successful, survival rates are excellent. The need for secondary surgery is infrequent and functional improvement occurs most cases. Restenosis after PTMC has generally been defined as a loss of more than 50% of initial gain and a valve area less than 1.5 centimeters. The incidence of restenosis is very low, between 2% and 40%, at time interval ranging from 3 to 10 years. So this is all. Thank you to all. Everybody safe, stay safe and stay home. And if you have any question, then you ask me. But I have left the procedure. I have not told you.
Sir, Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Open for discussion.
Sir, I have two questions, sir.
Yes.
So thank you for your excellent and very elaborative presentation. Firstly, I would like to ask how many times PTMC can be performed? And the second question is, if the patient develops fever, what will be the management?
Patient develop
Fever, temperature.
fever.
Yes, sir.
When?
Sir, after performing PTMC, if the patient develops temperature,
If
how
it
to
is
manage?
immediately, then you can related not infective endocarditis, you can manage by paracetamol. It will.
Yes, sir.
And how frequent PTMC can be done, it depends on the requirements, position of the mitral valve. It is okay. If it is below 8 score, then you can do it repeatedly.
আচ্ছা স্যার, থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
Anybody?
স্যার আমার একটা কোশ্চেন ছিল স্যার, ওই আগের স্লাইডে স্যার আমরা দেখলাম যে সাকসেসফুল পিটিএমস কখন বলবো, if the valve area has increased to more than 50% from the original size or 1.5 centimeter square যদি পারে স্যার। কিন্তু এই লাস্টের দিকে স্লাইডে স্যার আবার দেখলাম ওই 1.5 সেন্টিমিটার স্কয়ার ঠিকই আছে, কিন্তু valve area at least 25%। এখন কোনটা আমরা ধরবো স্যার, 50% না 25%?
যেটা বেশি হবে, যদি 1.5 সেন্টিমিটার বেশি হয় দেন ওকে। যদি দেখা যায় যে
পার্সেন্টেজটা স্যার একটা স্লাইডে 50% আর একটা স্লাইডে 25%।
more than 25%.
ওকে স্যার।
Next. Thank you.
স্যার
Ah,
আর একটু একটা রিকোয়েস্ট ছিল, আপনার প্রেজেন্টেশন যদি শেষ হয়ে থাকে কাইন্ডলি স্যার স্টপ শেয়ার করে দিবেন স্যার আপনার স্ক্রিনটা।
কি করবো? স্টপ শেয়ার।
জি স্যার, স্টপ শেয়ার। ওকে।
ঠিক আছে, এখন বলেন কি আরো কিছু যদি জানতে চান। Anybody? কেউ না, সবাই বুঝে ফেলছেন?
জি স্যার।
তাহলে তো ভালো। হ্যাঁ, এই কই গেল? তাহলে আমি ধরি।
এটা হলো যে শাফি মজুমদার স্যার বলছিল উনি হায়েস্ট 3 বার করেছে।
যতক্ষণ পর্যন্ত ভালভের ক্রাইটেরিয়া যদি প্লায়েবল থাকে, নো ক্যালসিফিকেশন থাকে, সুইটেবল ফর ক্যালসিফিকেশন, valvular structure mildly involved or moderately involved can be done repeatedly. And repeatedly করবেনই বা কেন, একটা যদি সাকসেসফুল পিটিএমসি করেন একবারই, এটা it lasts up to 20 years.
না ওই ওনাকে
20 years.
নাকি সরাসরি প্রশ্ন করা হয়েছিল যে স্যার আপনি একজনের পিটিএমসি ম্যাক্সিমাম কতবার করেছেন? ওরা বলে যে 3 টাইমস করেছি আমি কোনো একটা পেশেন্টের।
আমার একটা প্রশ্ন আপনাদের কাছে, যে আমরা যদি পিটিএমসি করি তাহলে কোন গ্রোয়িং চয়েস করব? হুইচ গ্রোয়িং, লেফট অর রাইট?
তাহলে কি করতে হবে এখন?
কোনটা?
স্যার
আমরা রাইট ফেমোরাল আর্টারি ইউজ করব, ফেমোরাল আর্টারি ভেন, না লেফট ফেমোরাল আর্টারি ভেন?
সিএজি তে তো সবসময় রাইটটা দিয়ে
Right.
স্টার্ট করি আমরা।
হ্যাঁ, তো কেন লেফটে করা যাবে না?
অবশ্যই।
আমরা তো আমরা তো পিসিআই লেফট রাইট দুই দিকে করি না?
জি স্যার।
জি স্যার।
পিটিএমসি করা যাবে?
স্যার এই ক্ষেত্রে রাইট সাইডে স্যার আমরা যদি ভেনাস শিটটা ইউজ করি আর লেফট সাইডে আর্টেরিয়াল লাইনটা ইউজ করলে স্যার ভালো, কারণ হচ্ছে হেমোডাইনামিক্স মনিটরিং এর জন্য লেফট সাইডটা ইউজ করাটা আর রাইট সাইডের জন্য স্যার হচ্ছে
সেটার জন্য কি প্রবলেমেটিক? একটা পেশেন্টের দুই জায়গায় দুই পা কি করে শোয়া রেখে দিবেন 6 আওয়ার্স মুভমেন্ট করতে দিবেন না? এক সাইডে করলে ভালো হয়, যখন কোনো প্রবলেম ফেস করি তখন করি, কিন্তু লেফট সাইড দিয়ে পিটিএমসি করা যায় না ডিউ টু স্টিফনেস অফ দ্য শ্যাফট অফ দ্য।
ওনলি রাইট সাইড স্যার।
হ্যাঁ, অনলি রাইট সাইড দিয়ে করতে হবে। আচ্ছা, গেল একটা। আর তো সবই বলে দিছি।
জি স্যার।
এই কথাটা মনে রাখবেন যে when heparin should be given,
জি স্যার। যখন এলএতে থাকবো পাংচার হওয়ার পরে তখন।
এলএতে যে পাংচার হওয়ার পরে এলএতে আছেন এটা কনফার্ম করবেন কি দিয়া? How will you confirm that you are in LA?
স্যার একটা হচ্ছে প্রেসার ট্রেসিং যদি দেখি
প্রেসার ট্রেসিং এর চেঞ্জ থাকবে স্যার।
তাহলে
আরেকটা হচ্ছে সাডেন রিলিজ অফ দি প্রেসার যখন পাংচার হয়ে
সাডেন রিলিজ অফ দি প্রেসার আফটার পিটিএমসি, ওটা আগে হবে।
না না না, মানে
You are puncturing the intraarterial septum, and how will you confirm that you are in right position? Can you tell anybody?
স্যার এই ক্ষেত্রে যদি স্যার আমরা প্রেসার ট্রেসিং দেখি স্যার, তাহলে তো স্যার এল এর প্রেসার ট্রেসিং উইল বি ডিফারেন্ট ফ্রম দ্য আর।
তাহলে ফার্স্ট অফ অল হচ্ছে আপনি যখন পাংচার করলেন তো এল এর আছেন, এল এর ব্লাড ইজ হাইলি কালার্ড, তাই না?
জি স্যার।
Oxygenated blood, that one important. তারপরে যখন আপনি প্রেসার ট্রেসিং এ দিলেন তা এল এর প্রেসার নিলেন,
জি স্যার।
that is important. তারপরে আপনি অক্সিমেট্রি করতে পারেন, যে অক্সিমেট্রি দিয়ে অক্সিজেন স্যাচুরেশন কত, সেটাও একটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট ফাইন্ডিংস পাবেন যে আমরা উই আর ইন এ রাইট পজিশন। তারপরে হচ্ছে যে আপনি ডাই যখন দিবেন আপনি এলেগ্রাফি করবেন তো একটু, যে আপনি আছেন কি এলেগ্রাফি করলে আপনি অ্যাপেন্ডিক্স এল এর সব ফিগার কনফিগারেশন দেখতে পাবেন। তারপরে আপনি যখন করলেন তখন আপনি হেপারিন দিবেন। তারপর তাহলে আপনাকে হেপারিন দেওয়াটা খুব কনসাসলি দিতে হবে এবং আপনি রাইট ট্র্যাকে আছেন এইটা আপনাকে আগে কনফার্ম করতে হবে। করার পরে দেন আপনি ডাইলেটর দিয়ে সেপ্টাম ডাইলেট করবেন, আর নয়তো বিপদে পড়ে যাবেন।
স্যার স্যার এই ক্ষেত্রে যদি স্যার কমপ্লিকেশন হিসেবে স্যার আমাদের
কোশ্চেন বোঝা যাচ্ছে।
কোভিড তো স্যার সেন্ট্রাল নার্ভাস সিস্টেম দুর্বল করে দিচ্ছে স্যার।
জামালি কিছু বলবেন মনে হচ্ছে?
না স্যার, বললাম যে স্যার কোভিড স্যার সেন্ট্রাল নার্ভাস সিস্টেম দুর্বল করে দিচ্ছে।
রাজন চলে গেছে? নাই
না, আসি স্যার। স্যার এটা প্রশ্ন ছিল স্যার, স্যার এটা যদি কোনো এমএস এর পেশেন্ট স্যার ইনফেক্টিভ এন্ডোকার্ডিটিস হয়েছে স্যার, ওই রোগীটা স্যার আমরা কত মাস?
জি স্যার।
এই কোশ্চেন
স্যার আমি তো কোশ্চেন করছিলাম স্যার আগে দুইটা।
শারমিন কই? হ্যালো
স্যার আমার প্রশ্ন আছে স্যার।
স্যার ডক্টর রাজন যে প্রশ্নটা করছিল যে যদি এমএস এর পেশেন্টের ইনফেক্টিভ এন্ডোকার্ডিটিস থাকে তাহলে কতদিন পরে? জি স্যার।
সব মিউট হয়ে গেছে নাকি?
জি স্যার
শোনা যাচ্ছে
না স্যার শুনতে পাচ্ছি স্যার।
রাজন কান্না আছো?
জি স্যার আছি স্যার।
অমিত, এই আফসার সাহেব কি হলো, সবাই বন্ধ কেন?
স্যার ওরা সবাই হচ্ছে নিজেরাই আসলে মিউট করে রেখেছে।
স্যার আমরা শুনতে পাচ্ছি,
শোনা যাচ্ছে না
আপনি
কেন?
মনে হয়
শুনতে পাচ্ছি স্যার। কমিউনিকেশন হচ্ছে না।
স্যার আপনি না তো আমাদের কথা তো শুনতে পাচ্ছেন তাই না স্যার?
স্যার
আসো।
আমাদের কথা শুনতে পাচ্ছে না।
জি
তো নাই।
স্যার আপনি কি আমার কথা শুনতে পাচ্ছেন?
এই আফসার সাহেব,
স্যার জি স্যার।
আফসার সাহেব,
স্যার আমি শুনতেছি।
স্যার আপনি মিউট করে রাখেন।
স্যার আমাদের কথা শুনতে পাচ্ছে না।
স্যারকে ফোন দিচ্ছি।
আফসার সাহেব,
স্যার আমি শুনতেছি আপনার কথা।
আফসার সাহেব, হ্যাঁ শুনতে পাচ্ছি না যে।
স্যার তাহলে একবার একটু লিভ করে তারপরে আবার একটু জয়েন করেন স্যার।
আর কেউ শুনতে পাচ্ছে না বোধহয়।
না আমরা শুনতে
শুনছি,
পাচ্ছি
স্যার।
স্যার, কিন্তু আপনি শুনতে
Can
পাচ্ছেন
you hear me?
জি
Yes,
স্যার।
sir.
জি স্যার।
সবাই শুনতে পাচ্ছেন স্যার?
সার্ভিনটা দেখা যাচ্ছে কিন্তু কথা শোনা যাচ্ছে না, তাহলে কি করব?